We want to keep busy and want to fight everyone and anyone who's at the top and who's available. You know, every fight's a dangerous fight, but for me, time is very important. Time goes real fast, doesn't wait for anyone.
I know you were, meant to face Daniel Dubois. You've been calling out Usyk, trying to get that fight over the line. Those obviously bring a real spark. Did you get the same sort of spark when you heard Fabio's name?
Any fight that we have locked in, we all get a spark because it's time to put in work. I spoke to Andy, David. I just said, give me any fight. And this is the fight they chose, and this is the fight that was presented to us. And because we've been waiting for a fight for a while, you know what we just said? Let's take this fight. Obviously, Usyk is the one that we want to fight. He is the best in the world, holds all the belts. Would have been awesome to, unification, undisputed. But he's injured and he's spending time with his family. And, there are videos of him dancing, but he's just having a good time. Having a good time with his family and having a good time on his time off.
Look,
Frank Warren, guys, is saying that the winner of the fight gets Usyk.
Oh,
all right?
Okay.
Here's the question, let me put it this way. Who would be the more interesting matchup against Usyk? Parker, the guy who everyone believes is the most deserving of all heavyweights for the shot, but who no one is picking to beat Usyk, or a wild card like Wardley were he to be coming off a Parker win against Usyk, who at least presents.
Joseph Parker reveals what truly matters to him in fight with Fabio Wardley. Something powerful is building inside Parker. He is not chasing fame or proving a point to critics. He is chasing destiny. Every punch, every spar, every victory is just one step closer to facing Usyk, the man he truly wants. And if Parker wins against Fabio, it forces Usyk to face him or risk his reputation.
I think it puts Usyk in not difficult, no one can doubt Usyk's credibility or his reputation because of the fights he's had and what he's done in those fights. But if he opts to fight Dubois and vacate his title, someone who he's already beaten pretty comfortably, and decides not to fight Joseph, it doesn't look too good for him. That's all I would say. It doesn't look too good for him from the fans' point of view and from a fighter's point of view. I'm sure he'll want to defend his belts, and I'm sure he'll want to fight Joe.
Max Kellerman captures what many fans feel. Parker's story is no longer about proving doubters wrong, it's about proving destiny right. He's beaten every man they placed before him, and he's done it with composure. For him, Fabio Wardley is not the end goal, just another necessary victory before the real chase begins. The one for Usyk, and the crown that truly matters.
Power, unpredictability.
I think it's no question, Max, it's Parker, and it's not just as a fighter, but as a personality. Parker's one of the best interviews in boxing. He has a lot of charisma, and he just makes fun fights. We see the fun videos he does when he calls out fighters. They've gone viral. And Wardley, though, if he's coming off of the win over Parker, you mentioned he's a big puncher, that could change things.
That he would be like a poor man's Atama at that point, right? Who's the guy
Maybe homeless man's version.
Poverty-stricken man's Atama. But Parker, I think,
Parker too.
I think Parker's the more interesting guy for Usyk, even for Usyk's place in history, Chris.
Not only because of his skill set, and like you said, he's fought the who's of boxing already. So why not put him in there with someone with a great fighter like Usyk? You put up a great fight with him. I think so.
And he can win different ways.
Yeah.
Right. I always heard Roy Jones talk about fighters. Right. When we talk about the Canelo versus Crawford, he said Crawford can win in so many different ways.
Duke McKenzie points out what separates champions from legends. Usyk's mastery and consistency keep him at the top, but Parker's current rise shows a man learning to match that standard. From once being labeled inconsistent to now training with renewed focus, Parker is proving that evolution never stops in boxing.
I'm not saying that at all. I still don't feel that even that performance is not enough to beat Alexander Usyk, because boxing's all about levels. And Usyk isn't the kind of, as I said before, Usyk's not on the slide. He's not, and he would, once you set out your game plan and you get your tactics and ABCD right, as Usyk has done, that's why he's unbeaten and a two division unified 4-belt era champion. That's what separates the good from the great.
Tony Bellew knows the mental and physical toll that comes with facing Usyk. He believes Parker will give a strong challenge, but might fall short. What he overlooks is Parker's momentum since teaming with Andy Lee, improving his movement, and learning to fight smarter rather than harder. The version of Parker coming now is not the same man Bellew remembers.
It'll be interesting to see if that's going to make a difference against Alexander Usyk. I do think he's in the fight. I do think it's a dangerous fight, but ultimately, I think it's one he'll lose.
Parker's tone shows full concentration. Every part of his camp has been structured around one goal: to prepare for Alexander Usyk. His connection with his trainers has transformed him into a calmer, more strategic fighter. Every spar, every round, and every sweat drop is aimed at the same target: the world's best heavyweight technician.
So you can't really think about that or worry about that fight until you get this one done and dusted. Like, this is our full focus. Myself, Andy, George, the whole team that's here from New Zealand, America, I got Rob here. Our full focus.
Eddie Hearn's statement shows respect for Usyk's achievements, but also reveals an opening. Time is catching up with the Ukrainian champion, and Parker senses it. This may be the perfect chance for him to close the distance and capture the biggest win of his career before the heavyweight landscape shifts again.
I don't see Usyk as someone who's going to go on for another 5 years fighting every challenger in the division. Like, he was the undisputed cruiserweight world champion. He's the unified world heavyweight champion.
Johnny Nelson admires Parker's mindset. The hunger to prove he is bigger than titles comes from years of rebuilding. Since losing his belt, Parker has fought top contenders, stayed disciplined, and kept evolving. Now he fights not for fame or belts, but for legacy, which makes him even more dangerous.
I don't believe he's retired. I don't believe he's done. I do believe he's probably one of the few fighters that's bigger than the belts.
Andy Lee perfectly captures Joseph Parker's mindset. He has always been about testing himself against greatness. What separates Parker from others is his work ethic and new stamina level that allows him to maintain high pace without fading. This change could be the key to matching Usyk, who thrives when opponents slow down. By erasing those pauses, Parker has evolved into a fighter capable of sustaining pressure through all 12 rounds. Every moment inside the gym now serves one purpose: to keep moving, keep punching, and never let an elite technician like Usyk find comfort in rhythm.
Everybody wants to fight the best of their era. Hamza wants to fight Canelo. Joe wants to fight Usyk. We always want to challenge ourselves as fighters, and we're up for the challenge.
Spencer Oliver's words highlight how the heavyweight picture is shifting. For years, Joseph Parker worked quietly, collecting wins, staying disciplined, and building back credibility. Now, he stands as the mandatory challenger, a fighter who has earned his way back into title contention. Many question if he can truly push Usyk, but his recent run proves he's rediscovered focus and balance. The WBO mandate might force the matchup. Yet even without politics, this is the fight fans want to see. Parker represents power, speed, and heart against Usyk's technique and timing, creating one of boxing's most intriguing possible collisions.
You just go, who's going to beat him? You know, who is that guy? I think the guy that deserves a shot next, by the way, is Joseph Parker. He's the guy that's been waiting, and I think the WBO have mandated that fight. So unless Alexander Usyk vacates the belt, he will have to fight Joseph Parker next. That'll be an interesting fight. That's probably his biggest challenge for him right now.
Confidence speaks louder than prediction, and Joseph Parker's voice shows he truly believes. His partnership with Andy Lee and George Lockhart has built a fighter who understands not only power, but planning. Unlike others who rush against Usyk, Parker focuses on precision and patience. His strategy will not be about out-punching, but out-thinking, a test of brains and bravery. Every adjustment in camp is designed to surprise, not imitate. Parker's belief is no longer based on hope, it's built on repetition, hard sparring, and the quiet confidence that he can finally challenge the best technician in boxing on equal ground.
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. I want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one.
Johnny Nelson's analysis reveals the strategic dilemma in the heavyweight division. Should Parker face Usyk now or wait for the perfect moment? Experience says timing is everything. Parker has already faced tough setbacks and learned from them. Those losses were not defeats, they were lessons, shaping him into the complete fighter he is today. Usyk might still be the mountain, but Parker's patience and maturity could give him the edge when that moment arrives. Nelson understands that the best wars are won by fighters who know when to move, when to wait, and when to strike with purpose.
What I'm saying is, I just won't do it. It's not a risk because he's the future. Usyk's at the stage where he's probably 1 or 2 fights ready to walk.
Duke McKenzie and Paul Smith highlight the reality behind every big fight. At the end of the day, boxing is both business and legacy. For Parker, the goal goes beyond money. He wants redemption. He wants recognition, and he wants to stand across from Usyk as the man who never stopped chasing greatness. A fight of this scale could define the end of one era and the rise of another. Even if Usyk chooses to walk away, Parker's persistence keeps him in the conversation. His hunger ensures that when opportunity knocks, he will be ready to seize it completely.
Well, Usyk might be vacating. If Usyk vacates, whichever belt that will be, then something might open up. But when you look at who's sort of on the list of who he could fight, who would you say?
Joseph Parker has reached a stage where his focus and discipline define his entire career. He is not just chasing belts anymore, he is chasing greatness. His ability to maintain intensity from the first belt to the last separates him from most heavyweights who fade under pressure. Parker's conditioning, movement, and timing are refined to perfection under Andy Lee's guidance. Every round feels like a statement that he still belongs among the elite. Fans can sense a different kind of hunger this time, the kind that turns experience into domination. He is fighting not only to win, but to prove that his best is yet to come.
That tells us just how good Moses Atama is.
Why is that?
Because he's unbeaten, he works at a high intensity, he's done the rounds, he works people up and down. I mean, he works the head and he works the body, which you don't see with most heavyweights now. He's an intelligent fighter, seems to take a good shot, and that's the kind of guy you'd like to see Atama in with.
There is a calm intensity in Joseph Parker's words. He is not begging for opportunities, he is demanding them with quiet confidence. This version of Parker understands his worth and what he brings to the division. When he says he is waiting for the best, it reflects his belief that his journey has only sharpened his skill. Every setback, every training camp, and every sparring round have built a fighter ready for redemption. His challenge to Usyk carries pride, but also patience, showing a man who knows timing is everything. The heavyweight scene feels like it is shifting toward Parker's moment, one where confidence finally meets destiny.
I'm here, I'm waiting, I'm determined. I want to fight the best, and you're the best. It's going to be the better of the gaps. Who's got the best gap in the business? And I think I got the best one. When you're done, when you're finished with your holiday, I'll see you.
Carl Frock raises a point that every fan secretly debates. Can Parker really challenge a master technician like Usyk? But the truth is, Parker's evolution since those earlier defeats tells a different story. He has rebuilt his entire foundation with sharper head movement, smarter timing, and a stronger mindset. Beating names like Deontay Wilder and Zhang restored his credibility in the toughest era of heavyweights. His improved pace and composure make him dangerous for anyone, including Usyk. The idea that he has no chance overlooks the fact that he thrives when underestimated. Parker has always been a silent storm, and this time, that storm is aiming straight at greatness.
Parker did the business. Parker's done everything he needs to do now to warrant a shot at Usyk. But would you even give Joseph Parker a chance at Usyk? It'd be an interesting fight. Quite fast hands, high work rate. But let's not forget who Parker's lost to already. I mean, lost to Dillian Whyte a few years ago, and he's since been beaten a few times by people that really couldn't lace Usyk boots. And I'm not having a go at Joseph Parker. And I do think that if anybody deserves a fight, he does. He deserves the fight, deserves the payday. But is anybody realistically giving Joseph Parker a chance against
Johnny Nelson captures exactly what makes Parker a complete fighter today. Under Andy Lee, Parker has learned to balance intelligence with aggression. He no longer rushes for knockouts. He creates them with patience and precision. His footwork is lighter, his balance improved, and his ring IQ elevated to a level where strategy now leads the show. The ability to step around, pivot, and control distance has transformed him into a thinking fighter rather than a slugger. Against a technical genius like Usyk, this approach matters more than power. Parker is shaping himself into a boxer who can adapt mid-fight and win rounds through timing and mental strength.
Going to be the case. I think Andy Lee's too smart for that. I think Joseph Parker's going to go in there, try and box him smart, step around the ring, use that weight to try and hold it.
This is the version of Joseph Parker fans have been waiting to see. Stronger, heavier, and technically superior, he has turned his physical prime into a weapon. Nelson's words ring true because Parker has finally found the balance between power and patience. His punches now carry both speed and intention, his defense is calmer, and his conditioning supports 12 rounds of pressure. A career heaviest does not mean slower, it means sturdier, more grounded, and ready for war. If Fabio Wardley underestimates that strength, he could face a nightmare. Parker is not fighting for a payday, he is fighting for legacy, and every move feels like the final march toward the Usyk showdown.
He's got that much natural strength. It was unprecedented. Joseph Parker will come in at a career heaviest, and Joseph Parker is technically the better fighter out of the two, the better boxer out of the two.
As the dust begins to settle, one thing has become clear. Joseph Parker is not the same fighter he once was. Every performance now feels like a message to the division that the quiet warrior from New Zealand is done waiting for respect. He has rebuilt himself from the ground up, sharpened every flaw, and turned every loss into a lesson. His movement is smarter, his punches carry deeper intent, and his mindset is unbreakable. The world may still question if he can dethrone Alexander Usyk, but Parker's confidence tells a story of a man who already believes he can. The heavyweight division stands on the edge of a new chapter, and Parker is ready to write it his way. If you believe Joseph Parker deserves his shot at glory, hit that like button, subscribe for more inside stories, and stay tuned for everything boxing only here.